Welcome back to day 2 of the windshield class build. Let's go take a look. So we got ourselves a gas tank here. It's got the factory GM pump in it. We built it and we're going to install it. So the next thing is we're going to hook up all the fuel lines. We're going to hook up the battery cables. We're going to try to get it turned over with the key. Hopefully we can get it to fire. I'm going to put some WD on the alternator, try to put a pipe wrench on it or something, maybe a socket on there, try to get it to turn, get it to break free. So I'd like to see if this thing actually starts today. You know, maybe. It'd be nice. So let's go put the gas tank in it and then we'll put a battery in it and see if we can... I know it turns over. You guys seen it turn over yesterday, but I'd like to see if it runs. And then I think we're pretty much done once it runs. So yeah, let's get going on it. So my ADHD is just destroying me today, guys. I put the gas tank in, ran the lines, didn't do anything else. I figured I'd move up here. I pinched off the brake lines, and I have the motor ratchet strapped come along the head, and I cut out the firewall like this. The reason for doing that is the rules state I cannot run a standalone harness, and I cannot move the wiring past the firewall. So we're just going to take all this and try to jam it in there as best as we can. We're going to undo this, move it up to here, because if you guys don't know, that's a death trap leaving that there. So let's do some more little moving of stuff and we'll be back here in like 20 minutes. I just used the plasma cutter and a Sawzall. Just plasma cutter is getting in there a little better than the Sawzall. Let's see what we can get done here. So we got all the wiring moved. These bolts are not coming out. I hit it with a hammer a whole bunch, and all that happened is the rad support fell off the car. Yeah. The rules state that the wiring can't be moved past the firewalls, but if you take a look, it's actually like behind the firewall. We'll see how tough they are at me for tech for that. Hopefully. You guys laugh, and I'm laughing, but that just might be enough to DQ me. We got the hole cut in the hood. We put a very large hole, and the reason for that is now I can check all my stuff without actually getting in there. That's your problem. It ain't got no power steering fluid in it. You know, guys, this is going to sound really stupid, but you're about used to that when you deal with me. We still haven't even heard this thing run yet. Yep, that's me. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut a little piece of this off, and we're going to patch the oil pan and transmission pan with it. So let's cut this off and then go underneath. So this is the hole we have to deal with. That one, and that one's there is going to be the tough one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a grinder and I'm going to try to grind all the fins off the bottom of this transmission. And we can start there and go from there. So let's start on that. I was putting the JB weld right on this piece to get it mixed, and it exploded onto my shirt. So if you guys see a big chunk of white on my shirt, I swear to God, it's one half of the JB weld. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this in 2 pieces. We're going to put it on pretty thick. Oh, the oil's coming back out. Jesus. I'm just going to soak up a little bit more of the oil because we want a clean surface. So brake clean. We did grind both surfaces, so that way it's like a super aggressive spot where the JB weld will bind to. And then this is the one for the oil pan. This kind of reminds me of those videos you see on TikTok where it says customer states I hit a rock and have an oil pan hole. Well, what happens is this is what happens when you buy your cars from the scrapyard. And they take air punches and punch holes in your oil pan and transmission pan. You just use a little bit of JB weld. We're going to do 2 coats. So the first coat's just to hold the patch on there, and the second one is to basically seal it in. I did mix a little bit more than I wanted to, mostly because the container blew the whole back out of it. And then this one here is for the transmission. Am I worried about the stuff going inside the oil pan and transmission? Yes. Do I really care? No. So we're just going to let that sit for about 20 minutes, and we're going to come back over and we're going to put another layer of it on. So we did our second layer of JB weld. I just scubered this stuff on here. So, guys, I have no idea if this is gonna run, but let's take a look at this thing. This windshield class car is done. That's right, it's done. I know that it doesn't look done, but it's done. That's how quick this windshield class car is. We still got to put holes in the hood to tie the hood down to the rad support, but that's as simple as the pickaxes you guys been seeing. We got to tie the door shut, but that's super simple. We have to put on an e-stop for the fuel pump, and that's done. That is done on this car. So, let's take a look. We moved all the wiring, but we can't move it any farther back than firewall, so it's all up here. We didn't put a tuned DCM in it because it doesn't say that we can't have a tuned DCM, but I don't think we can have a tuned DCM. If you can't move the wiring, I don't think we can run a tuned DCM. It doesn't say you can't, but it doesn't say you can. We lost the lid for the brake cap, so we did the old Ziploc baggie and a zip tie. Motor mounts are garbage. Wiring's garbage. We're going to spray foam some stuff. Yeah, the whole rad cradle broke off because we have to 9-wire it to the bumper. Rad cradle ripped off, so... Listen, I don't think this thing's going to do fantastic. We have aggressive tires. We have donuts on the back. We got seat belts in the back. We got our gas tank mounted and bolted down. We got our battery mounted, not bolted down. We got our trunk shut. Just super tight seat belts. Big hole in the trunk so then that way I can actually reach in there and tie the seat belts. Guys, I think I lowered my expectations working on this piece of garbage. Goddamn rotted W bodies. So what we're going to do now is mount off the what do you call it, emergency stop for the fuel tank, and we are not going to put oil in it yet because the JB weld is not dry. I would like to let that dry, and then we'll put oil and ATF in this, and then let's see if it fires. But we got to get this out of here because we only have 4 more days to build the car for Beaton. So this is like a stress build, let's get going kind of thing. So let's finish this thing up and then we'll drag it out with the Walden. The Walden's pulling her out. Steven's airing up the tires. Steven, honestly, how do you think this car is going to do?
I don't know.
Come on.
It's very rotten.
Come on. Out of 10, how bad is this car?
It's a 1. It's a 1.
I don't know. I think that Isuzu was a 1.
I'll give it that. It is staying together, but I think you bent the frame pulling it out, so...
Yeah. So we're going to shove this windshield class car outside here, and we're going to get another one in here. And the next one has to be built, like I said, in 4 days. So we need to get a lot of work done to it today and get it out. So let's get this one out and the new one in. Oh my goodness, going from this W body to this, what a difference. The subframe, it's attached.
It's a 2001 with the subframe still attached.
Oh my goodness. Okay guys, make sure you guys come back tomorrow.
Oh, no, it's junk.
What? It's fine, don't touch that. Alright guys, make sure you come back tomorrow because we're going to be starting a new build, and this one here is going to be twice as good in half the time.